Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at an issue that I had with my Maytag 5000 series washing machine. I kept running into an error that said SUD, and when I ran the diagnostic on it, it gave the F35 error, which points to the analog pressure sensor. Turns out that it actually wasn't the pressure sensor, and in fact it was capacitors in the control unit that had gone bad and need to be replaced. So this video is going to kind of go over a lot of different things in order to troubleshoot, but we're going to start with what the actual solution was by taking off the top, removing the control unit, and replacing the capacitors, because I believe that is the cause of the issue. I'm also going to be putting two other videos down in the description below so that you can help follow along. They really help me trying to understand some things. Okay, let's jump into it. So make sure before you do anything, you unplug it so you don't get electrocuted. All right, with the washing machine pulled back, you're gonna see that there's 3 screws. 1, 2, and 3. So remove that, and then you should be able to slide off the top. You should be able to push it backwards and lift it up. There we go. So in order to remove this control unit, there's a little tab that's right behind here. Just get a little flathead screwdriver. You can pop it up, and then you push the whole thing this way. It gets in these little grooves, and you can just pop it off like that. Then we're going to want to remove all of these connectors. It's useful to take a picture. Luckily, they're colored in the right way, so once you get a picture, you'll know exactly where they go. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the side, and then these 4 connectors down here. And once you get all these connectors removed, this whole piece will come out, and then there's just little clips around the whole thing. There's probably like 8 clips in total. You can just use the screwdriver to pop those open, and this whole plastic case comes apart, and that's where you're going to see your control board. Okay, so now we got the control board out. What we're going to be looking at is these 2 capacitors right here and right here. So when they go bad, they bulge out. So you can see at the very top right here, it bulges upward. Just a tiny little bit, but it's definitely noticeable right there. You can see, here's some good capacitors up here. If you look from the side, they're flat. So those are good. This, just that little tiny ridge there, that means it's bad. So we're gonna take these out. So here's the old one that I took out, and here's the new one that I put in. Make sure you get the 16 volt, the 2200. That is going to be the correct one. I'll put the Amazon link in the description below. Okay, now we just need to put it into here and solder it back together. Now that it's all buttoned up, we're going to run a diagnostic test to make sure that we don't have the F35 issue. So we're going to go to drain and spin, set the spin speed to no spin, and then hit the steam clean 4 times really quick. And that's going to run through all of the tests, the diagnostic, to make sure the entire system is working. Last time it wouldn't proceed past C00, I'd get the F35 error. So we'll see. We'll see if it all works out. There you go. Look at that, it worked out. Pretty crazy that all it was those 2 capacitors. I wouldn't say it's necessarily an easy job, especially if you don't feel comfortable soldering a control board. You could probably buy a whole new control board, but the capacitors themselves are like $5 from Amazon. So if you feel inclined or you know someone that can solder, you can definitely save yourself some money there. The rest of the video is going to be going through taking apart the rest of the components, which I thought might be issues, looking for clogs, testing the sensor, checking for a pressure drop. I'm gonna leave this here because I found that it's helpful to kind of go through everything. It's also just good to get your whole system cleaned out, and maybe it wasn't a capacitor issue for you and maybe something else. So hopefully this video can kind of help guide you through. But yeah, if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel. I know you're just checking this out and moving on, but it really does help out me tremendously. So if you found it helpful, please help me out. I'd appreciate that. Okay, without further ado, here is the other things that you can check if you have issues with your washing machine. You're gonna wanna check the filter that's in here. That's what goes through, when the water goes through, it catches any large debris from going into the back. So to start, we're gonna remove this bottom cover. There's 2 screws that are located on the bottom.
There's one right here.
You already removed the one on the other side. And then now you can just pull off the whole panel. There we go. So what we're looking at is this. When you open it, there's water that gets stored in here. And it goes along here and into the back to drain out. But there's gonna be water that's stuck inside of there, so you're gonna wanna get a rag to put underneath. You're gonna put this towel right down here. And look in. Get it behind this thing, because when you open it up, something's gonna come up. And you're gonna want to turn this to the left. You can see how that water draining out. Oh, that's a lot of water. That's why you put the towel down. That was more water than I was expecting. So sometimes what happens is that maybe a small sock, maybe a small child sock, can get trapped down in here. It comes in and then usually gets trapped right in this spot, and that's what helps large objects not go in through this hose, which then enters out the back and gets drained. Doesn't seem like there's anything stuck in there, but let's get this cleaned out anyways. Just run some water through here. Clean out all the junk. You can also pop this top off just by popping out there. Get the inside cleaned out. We're gonna do the same by cleaning out inside of here. Just shove a towel in there. Get it all cleaned up. An area that's also notorious for getting things stuck, like children's socks, it's back in this little area. That's where the drain water will go, down to that bigger black hose that we saw before. We're also gonna wanna remove this hose to see if there's anything clogged up in there. I doubt there will be, but now we need to check this hose. So we're gonna remove this and make sure this line's not clogged. Remove this whole unit, just like that. In the back of your washing machine, this is where your drain hose is. Should go into the wall, down to a drain. And it kind of snakes down here, and then comes up into this, and then that is what this yellow hose feeds to right there. So I'm gonna pour some water in the top, and we're gonna see if it comes out down in the bottom. Now I'm gonna pour some water in here. Okay, now once I turn it over, go down to the bottom and see if it comes out. Coming?
Mm-hmm. Lots of water.
Lots of water? All right, well, we know that the hose isn't clogged up. So I'm starting to wonder if this is clean and this hose, this drain is clean. Maybe there is something stuck in here from the washing machine that maybe got stuck. So I'm gonna have to remove this band, and to access that, you go to the back, and there's a little clamp back there they have to squeeze to take this off. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm back here, but there's a lot of screws. So we're just gonna start taking them out, see if we can get this whole thing off. All right, I counted 12 screws. The last one being here. Pick that up later. Okay, Let's see if it pulls off. Hey, look at that. Look at that. All right, let me put this camera down and snake it out. You have to get in behind, and you have to get that clip right there. There we go. Oh, look at that crud. Yeah, gross. Okay, we're gonna take this whole hose off from the front and clean it up. There doesn't appear to be anything in there that might be causing the clog, but I'm still gonna wash it out, see if anything comes out. All right, well, I cleaned it out. It was nasty in there. There was so much sludge, but nothing was clogged in there, so. Well, I finally got this black hose back in. It was a huge pain. Channel locks are required, really odd angles. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done. So be warned, if you take that off, it's near impossible to get back on. All right, we found the pressure hose and the pressure switch. Right here, that's the pressure switch. And this black cord right here that goes down, that black hose, that's the pressure hose. So we're supposed to check that for any leaks or to see if it's clogged. So this black hose is said pressure hose. That connects down here. So apparently we can take this whole thing off. All right, I think I got a strategy. Going underneath it and rolling it up. Okay, rolling up the stocking. Oh yeah, I got this. Come on, baby. There we go. With that off, we're gonna take off the top. That is right here. Okay, so same situation as above. You kind of roll over on itself. All the way around. There we go. And there we go. We'll inspect this hose. So I got the hose out. I'm inspecting it. I don't see any holes. I don't see any cuts in it. So I'll do a pressure test. Plug one end just by squeezing it and blow through. Doesn't seem to have any leaks, so makes me wonder, is there pressure? Okay, now it's time to take off this analog pressure switch right here. So apparently you can just turn it this way. Turn it sideways and it pops out. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's cool. And then there's a little clip in here. This. There we go.
Really small flathead screwdriver.
That's right. All right, great. Well, it's about a week later. I finally got the right switch. What's tricky is that it's unclear what is the replacement part. This is the old one, this is the new one. And when you look up online, you'll see this number, this W10415587. But if you look at it on Amazon, it will vary. We need to check is this DS12.1.1.04 number, and then the one on the bottom. There's a couple different versions of it, and the first one I ordered off Amazon that was $75 had the same part number, but it was the wrong sensor. It had a different DS number on there. So I'll post the link to this on there. This one was about $220, so much more expensive. But we're going to put this in and see if this works. All right, to put this back in, you'll plug in this cord, just the same way as we unplugged it. Right in there, so it clicks. And then we'll take this vent hose and just secure it on here. Just make sure it's sealed up real tight. Okay. Now in order to get this, we'll turn this sideways and put it in the hole. Right there, and then turn it counterclockwise, 90 degrees. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna run a diagnostic test just to see what error code it gives us. Seriously? We got the F35 error again. If you found this video helpful, please, please, please subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate that.